Why would a powerful entity like the East India Company, which held dominion over the vast territories and abundant resources of India, decide to pack up and sail back to England? This is far from a simple query, and the answers lie in the intricate tapestry of history. In the mid-18th century, the East India Company, a British corporate entity, had established itself as a formidable power in India. It was not merely a trading company anymore. It had its own army and administrative machinery, ruling large swathes of the subcontinent. However, by the early 19th century, the winds of change had begun to blow. The first sign of trouble was the Vellore Mutiny in the year 1806. This uprising by Indian Sepoys was a response to the cultural insensitivity and high-handedness of the company. Although the mutiny was quelled, it was a clear warning sign of the brewing discontent among the Indian ranks. The situation escalated further with the outbreak of the First War of Indian Independence in 1857, often referred to as the Sepoy Mutiny. The revolt was a direct result of the company's policies that disregarded the religious and cultural sentiments of the Indian soldiers. The rebellion, although brutally suppressed, shook the foundations of the company's rule. In the aftermath of the rebellion, the British Crown decided to intervene directly. In 1858, the Government of India Act was passed, transferring the control of India from the East India Company to the British Crown. The company's rule was officially ended and Queen Victoria was declared as the Empress of India. However, the story does not end here. The company had to wind up its operations and leave India. This process was not immediate and took a considerable amount of time. The final nail in the coffin was the East India Stock Dividend Redemption Act of 1873. This act led to the formal dissolution of the East India Company, ending its 273 years of existence. To recap, the East India Company's decision to leave India was not a single event, but a complex process that spanned several decades. It began with the Vellore Mutiny in 1806, followed by the larger Sepoy Mutiny in 1857. These events led to the British Crown taking direct control of India in 1858. The final act was the dissolution of the company in 1873, marking the end of an era. So, the answer to the question we started with is layered and multifaceted. It lies in the interplay of power dynamics, cultural insensitivity, armed resistance, and legislative changes. The East India Company did not willingly decide to leave India. It was a decision forced upon them by the tide of history. The company's departure from India was not just a historical event, it was a turning point that shaped the course of the Indian subcontinent's future.